it's Suzanne with Scrapping the Details, and welcome back to another video. Today we're shaking things up by creating 4 projects utilizing one die. This die here is by Sizzix and it is called the Mini Shaker Card. I had an opportunity to play with this die when it first was released, and here you can kind of get a glimpse of the project that I created. If you love shakers, this is going to be a must-have die for you. It is a simple shape, but it's so versatile and you can use it on so many different projects. So you'll definitely get your money's worth with this die. It is simply a little card pocket, and on the front you can create your own shakers and add sequins, seed beads, anything that you would like to have it, obviously be a shaker. So love this, added it to my collection, and I'll ensure that I'll list this item in the description box, as well as all the other supplies that I'm going to show you today. I've created 4 projects, so I will share those with you now. And then towards the end of the video, I'll show you a short tutorial on how easy it is to assemble this. Also, because I'm almost at 600 subscribers, I want to have a giveaway. So stay towards the end and I'll tell you exactly what you can do to enter. Okay, let me share with you what I created. Now, with all 4 projects that I did create, I used 2 collections. The first one is called Bloom, and it's by Crepe Paper. And then the second one, if you haven't seen it already, it's at Hobby Lobby, and it's called Petals and Blooms. And I love that collection. I love the paper, just all the beautiful patterns, and I used it on almost every single one of these projects. But the Bloom and the Petals and Bloom blend beautifully together. So let me go ahead and share with you the first project. And this one here, I just created it just as the die is intended to be used. It is a 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 pocket. So inside here, I just inserted a little tag that I could write a little note. You can add a gift card, you could add another handmade card, or tuck in some candy. You could also tuck in tissue paper inside. And then on the front, this is where the magic happens, is the shaker element. Such a cute little pocket to give to someone. And here my sentiment sits on top of the shaker, and I added a beautiful prima flower and of course some white ribbon. So towards the end of the video, I will show you exactly what you'll need to create this project. The second item that I made was a card. It fits beautifully onto an A2 regular size card. Here I just used the first square and created my window to have that shaker element. Beautiful, it's easy to use, and again, inside here, this is an element from the Bloom collection by Crepe Paper. Here you can kind of see a peek of the petals and bloom, and then I added just a simple scallop border towards the bottom, and of course a pink bow. Just a lovely presentation for a card. I think this is probably one of my favorite cards that I've created so far, and I don't tend to make a lot of cards, but I like this one. For my third project, I added the Mini Shaker card die onto the front of a composition book. The front of this composition book does have paper from the Petals and Bloom collection. I mean, look at all that beautiful color and just the patterns and the different florals. Absolutely love this paper. But anyway, the star of the show is this die here, and it just creates a fun element to the front of a composition book. Who wouldn't want to receive this and have this on their desk? Love this. So very simple to make. So that was the third one. And for my final project, I was inspired by this project that I did create. I created this project a while back, and I'm just going to call this the Mini Shaker Folio. It is so easy to create, and here, this is obviously a birthday theme. There's my sweet little Macy when she was young. Gosh, now she's 12, but I think she was 2 in this photo. And here I created a shaker, not only on the front, but also as my middle panel. So this is a project that inspired me to create another one, but with a different paper collection. So let me go ahead and share that with you now. And here we are. Now, for those of you, you may recognize this die. It is my all-time favorite die. It is the French Bow by Brenda Walton. And if you don't have it yet, definitely need to add that to your list. But some of you may think, well, that bow may be too big for your folio. But you know what? I'm from Texas, so you either go big or you go home. And I just love it. It's just a lovely presentation. Here again, the magic on the front. I create the shaker right onto the front of my little folio, and I'm going to open it up. And here are the 3 panels. So this is a birthday folio that I created for a very good friend of mine. Without friends, I don't know what we would do, right? It's always good to have those few friends that just know you and are there for you. So I made this for her in celebration of her birthday. Very fun. Here I created the element, the other shaker element right on the center. And here just I created a tag that I embossed with some gold embossing powder. I used a die that I had and just spelled out the word lovely there. And then I love this quote here, so I had to add it. Friendship isn't a big thing, it's a million little things. And just with a sweet butterfly. And then if you can see this gold textured paste, it is from Bo Bunny, and I'm absolutely loving it. Just adds just that fun shine to your project. So there you have it, and here's the back. I kind of embossed there, so when the recipient opens it, you know, you see a pretty pattern there, and then of course you see this, and it's intended to stay open so they could have it on their workspace or somewhere special, just as a reminder that, you know, I appreciate them as my friend, and of course wish them a happy birthday. So many possibilities with this die. So let me show you what we will need to create this pocket here, and I'll show you how easy it is to make. To create this shaker pocket, we are going to need the following. You're going to need an embossing folder, and this one here is from Sizzix. The designer is Rachel Bright. Again, I will list the exact name of this embossing folder in the description box. Really love this. Just simple flower pattern all throughout, and it's perfect for the collections that I used here. So here's the petals in bloom. This is the one that I picked up at Hobby Lobby, and I'll just kind of flip through it for you. But as you can see, just beautiful colors, so many things that you can do with this. And I actually bought it in the 12 by 12 too. It comes in 8.5 by 11, but I wasn't too crazy about it, so I didn't pick that. As you can see, I've been playing with it. Okay, so you'll need some type of pattern paper, and here is the Bloom collection by Crate, and this is at Hobby Lobby too, and like I said, it just goes perfectly with the petals and blooms. Okay, so you'll need some pattern paper. You're going to need some type of floral embellishment. These are from Prima, and I've had these forever, and they just have a really pretty glitter on the outer edges of the petals. You're going to need some red thin tape, because we'll use this to connect our pocket together. And you'll need some type of washi tape that you don't like, or painter's tape, just so we can hold our dies in place to create that window. You're going to need a word die, and I'm very particular about fonts. I don't know why, but I just am. I like them to be simple and clean. If they do have a little bit of a script, again, I'm just really picky. So I do love Tim Holtz's new words and all the different fonts that he has. I don't think there's not one that I do not like. So I will definitely list the one in the description box. You're going to need some sequins, of course, to create that shaker element. Some white ribbon and some reinforcers. Here I just used these from Hobby Lobby. They were $1.99, and you could obviously create your own, but these were just really simple to use. You're going to need some text paper, some pink cardstock. You're going to need a transparency, of course, because that's how we're going to be able to see our shaker, and some white cardstock as well. Now, as for the dies, there is one element that is not part of the die set, and let me and it's this little thin scallop here, and I'm going to show you exactly how I created that. You will obviously need the star of the show, and that is the mini shaker card. Again, it's by Sizzix, and I'll list it again in the description box for you so you could find it. You will need a tag die as well, and this is by Tim Holtz, and there's a variety of sizes in his set, and it's a must-have. It's just a basic tag, and I love it. So I'll list that as well. And to create that thin scallop, which is right here, you're going to need some basic circles, and you're going to need some basic scallops. And again, I'll list them in the description box, and I'm going to show you exactly how I put these two together to create this beautiful frame on the outside of the shaker window. Okay, and I think that's it. Now, I thought I would share a little bit about this die that might be useful to you. I apologize. Now, this outer square is going to create the base of your shaker pocket. Okay, so it's this piece here, and it's the back side. And then the second one is going to create your shaker window. So you're going to use this second square with one of these circles to create that opening. It's actually going to be the smaller circle. You'll use the larger circle to have your base that sits in the background. In this case, it's the text paper that I used. And then this here is the piece that's going to create your hinges that connects your pocket together. And there's actually going to be 3 that we cut. So we can put 2 on the side and then 1 on the bottom so nothing will fall out. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Now you will need a big shot to use this die. So here we go. We have our cardstock down, and we're going to need 2 of the bigger square. So we're going to go ahead and run that through. Now you're going to be left with 2 of the panels, one for the front and one for the back. Let's go ahead, and just because I wanted to add just a little bit of more texture, I'm going to emboss them. So it's just a pretty texture to the pocket. You can barely see it in the front, but in the back, it just makes such a difference. It's just in the details. So I'm going to go ahead and emboss that next. I'm now going to emboss these 2 squares here. And again, this embossing folder is by Sizzix, and I'll list the exact name of it in the description box. Now, you can sometimes insert 2 or more pieces of cardstock in your embossing folders, just depending on how thick the paper is. Especially with vellum, you can definitely get a few layers in your embossing folder, so you can just run them through at one time. So I'm going to go ahead and run these through, and now you'll be left with this. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of the die cutting, so that's out of the way, then we can start assembling. We will need 3 of these hinges here, so go ahead and cut out 3. Now these hinges are scored after you cut them, so they're going to fold nicely, just like that. So you'll do that with all 3. You're going to take your larger circle, and we're going to go ahead and cut the background. Now this is where we're going to create that shaker window that sits on front of the pocket. So you're going to need the smaller square die, and then the the smaller circle die and the smaller square, and that's going to create our window. So let me grab my pattern paper that I'm going to use. Okay, so this is where you have to align it. So you will need your magnetic platform, and just gonna make sure my cut, yes, here we go. You're gonna face that down, and you're gonna position the circle right in the center of that square. Now, just to ensure that it does not move around as you run it through the Big Shot, we're gonna go ahead and tape it down with some washi. And if I can find the opening, there it is. We're gonna go ahead and do that just so it doesn't move. So I'm going to line it up as best you can, and I'm gonna put one there and one there, and that's creating our window. And then you can just peel this off. And we're going to be left with our opening to the front of our pocket and of course a circle. This you won't need, but you can save it and use it for another project. So I have my square, and let's see. And I'm going to do one more die cutting because I want to create this little scallop here that's going to serve as our decorative border. Now, to create that decorative edge around the circle, you're going to need a scallop die and then a circle die, and we're going to use them together. Now, this measures about 3 1/4, and this is a 3-inch. So they came from sets that I have, so you get different size scallops and different size circles, so you can create so many different size borders for your projects. So definitely a must-have. They're just essentials. So we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to line up that circle right in there, and just to ensure that it doesn't move on us, we're going to put a little bit of washi, and I think that looks good, and we're going to run it through. So now we are left with the circle scallop. Really cute, really dainty. This is going to be beautiful around our shaker window. Now I think the last element that I need to die cut is my tag. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Out of pink cardstock, and then again out of this polka dot to create this tag. And then I'm going to use just a circle sticker to embellish the top of the tag. Now we will need a transparency for our window. I almost forgot about that. So let's go ahead and die cut that. And then we'll be completely done with all our die cutting. I do want to show you this. I'm going to use the word smile just so I have a different sentiment for my pocket. Sizzix has adhesive sheets that you can adhere to cardstock, and then for these intricate dies you can just run this through and then with your piercing tool, you'll be left with this, but the beauty of it, it already has the adhesive on the back, making it so easy to adhere to your project. So the adhesive is already on your die cut. Okay, now we're ready to assemble our pocket, and we're going to adhere it with the hinges. And so what I like to use is this thin tape. In fact, now I need a little bit thinner, so I'm going to grab this one. And you just adhere it to your hinge on both sides. And let me see if I can find some scissors. Here's some. And you're just going to do that to all three of them. Okay, now you can start assembling your pocket. And I'm just going to lift that top layer off. And you're going to make sure the texture is on the back. And you're just going to line it up on the edge. So we're going to put one here and one here. I really like this red tape. It is very durable and it adheres well. So we're going to put one there, and then one's going to go on the bottom so the items that we fill our pocket with do not fall out. Okay. Oops, I didn't get that. There we go. And that's going to go there. And then this is going to sit right on top. Okay, so now you can begin to assemble. And you're just going to line it up and adhere them together. And you could create your shaker window first, but I tend to do it this way and just create it right on top. So there you have it. There's your little pocket. So we'll go ahead and begin assembling the window. Now the next item that we can adhere is we can adhere this text to the center of our pocket. So it's just going to go in the center just like that, and it's going to serve as a base for our sequins. And then we're going to adhere this transparency to the back of the open window. And I'm just going to use glossy accents and go all the way around and adhere it together and allow it some time to dry. Next, we can go ahead and add our sequins. And what I like to do is adhere a few of them to my base, just so a few of them will not move. And again, I'm just going to use my glossy accents, and I'm just going to randomly place a few. And so as the shaker is shaked, a few of them will stay in place. I'll go ahead and do one. Let's see, I'm going to do a few more. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and just put a few of them down in the center. And of course they're adhering to me because I have glue all over them. And let's see, I'm just going to do a few more. And you could add as much as you want. And at this point you could add seed beads. Just going to add a few more. Let's see, maybe a couple more. Okay. Whoops. Okay, these are going all over the place. Okay, so this is going to sit right on top. Now, the easiest way is to have white foam and run that through a Xyron so it becomes, so it has adhesive on the front and back. And then you will adhere it directly to the back of this panel and adhere it down. But I don't have any more white foam, so I'm going to use the next best thing, and that's going to be my pop dots. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll insert a photo of what it looks like. Obviously, it's not the prettiest. I don't recommend it, but it is what I have right now, so I'm going to go with it. Now this is going to sit right on top. You're going to center it just so all those sequins stay inside. And that looks good. And then I already put adhesive on this. I should have used the adhesive sheets, but I forgot. This is going to go right around that window. Again, this is not part of the die. It's just something that I created just to add another detail. And you'll have that. And then we're going to go ahead and let's add our sentiment and see how easy this is. You're just going to lift this up. It already has adhesive on the back. And then this can be centered wherever you like. And this one's going to say smile. And I'm going to grab some ribbon and just go ahead and tie a bow around the bottom of the pocket. Okay, I kind of wrestled with that bow. It's not perfect, but it'll suffice. I'm just not feeling well, so I'm better just, quit while I'm ahead. Okay, so there you have it. And then I am going to add one of these little felt flowers to the center of my bow. So I'm just going to grab some glue, just a hot glue gun. And I'm going to place it right on top, just like that. All these sequins are everywhere. Okay, and then just to finish it off, I'm going to add my tag and just tuck it inside. And there you have it. So here's a look at the projects that I created. I hope that you've enjoyed this tutorial and the die. And if you have any questions, please let me know. And I do have a small giveaway, so let me share that with you now. Now, I would like to give some items to a subscriber just to thank you for subscribing to my channel. I'm almost at 600 subscribers, so I'm pretty excited about that. So this is just a just because giveaway. So in this giveaway, you're going to receive these little mini standard cutting pads from Sizzix. They are intended for the sidekick, but you can use them on your big shot as well, because it just makes the die cutting process that much easier, especially when you just have that small die that you want to cut. Also, I have this cute little paper pad. It is a 6x6 paper pad from Pebbles, and it's called Sunny Side. So here's just a look at the color palette. Really bright, really fun. I thought I would include that. And then you're going to receive this mini album. Again, this is one of my favorites. It's by Sizzix. It has 15 dies to create your own sweet little mini album. And then these burlap flowers. So all you have to do is just leave a comment telling me where you're from, maybe a video idea that you have, or one of the videos that you've enjoyed watching so far. Please feel free to share this with one of your creative friends. Also, if you want to follow me on Instagram, please follow me at Suzanne Sergi. I did have a separate account, but that was hijacked by someone in Japan. Don't ask me how it happened, but it did. For some reason, I can't get my username back, so I'm back to Suzanne Sergi. So you can find me there, and also on Facebook at Scrapping the Details. And of course here, please subscribe to my channel. Like this video, I hope. And if you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. And I thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you find some time to be creative today, and I'll see you next time. Have a great night.